Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Joseph James, SchoolTrade.com. It's August 13th, Friday the 13th. We almost had a pretty good day today. Had a great day today in the room. Happy Friday to you guys all. We're making our way through the month of August, and before we talk about the trades we took today, I want to remind you guys about our blog. Now on the blog right now, we got a bunch of new stuff on the blog right now. Be on the lookout Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for those nightly reviews. All right, guys, Monday night through Thursday night, doing those nightly reviews every night. Didn't get it done last night. Had to get into a meeting last night, so I missed it last night. But look for it Monday through Thursday, though, right? In the future, guys. And don't forget, you can search our blog, right? Search the blog. You've got live support on the blog. You've got Facebook. You've got our YouTube page. Remember, our YouTube page is back, right? That YouTube page came back. All those thousands of videos on our YouTube page, guys. Check that out. And don't forget to follow the blog. Guys, last night, this morning, all kinds of new stuff on the blog. If you follow the blog, you'll make sure to get it all in real time. Let's take a look here. We took 2, 4, 5 total trades. Snuck in that last trade here this morning while we were doing our webinar this morning on the crude. We had waited all morning for that trade. 905 though, $900 today, 90 ticks. You can see we traded crude, the Russell, the Euro. We made the most amount of money on crude today, but we almost beat it on the Russell, though. The Russell gave us a nice, easy two-step and a wave pattern there towards the end of the morning as well. So we got 90 ticks. That brings us to 5,200 for the week, right? That's 520 ticks for the week. Okay, so we're still averaging over $1,000 a day right now here, even in the month of August. And, of course, that brings us to just shy of $13,000 for the month. So 13 trading days, $13,000, about $1,000 a day. Not a bad deal. And we're just shy of $120,000 for the year of 2010. Let's keep moving. What's the most important thing that happened today? Well, of course, it was a summer Friday, right? Need I say more? Summertime Friday, low volume, right? A small window of opportunity. And what I mean by that is that we're going to see low volume in the pre-market. We're going to see low volume in the early afternoon, which means, right, we're not going to be able to see very much until we get to 9:30. And then remember, it's a Friday, so things are going to be ending a little bit earlier. So where we'd normally be trading until about 12:30, 1 o'clock, we have to start looking for lunchtime about 11 o'clock today. So it's a smaller window of opportunity. We're going to get less volume. We're not going to get the pre-market before 9:30, right? And we're going to have to really pay attention to volume after 10:30. Okay, so real small window. So we had to be real patient. Right? Wait for a little bit more confirmation. So if you're trading an 8 range chart, I'm going to wait for confirmation on 13. If I'm trading a 13, I'm going to look for my 21 to confirm. Okay, so look for a little bit more confirmation. And of course, remember guys, don't be afraid to light up the barbecue and get the weekend started. All right, guys, I want to remind you guys, the month of August, this is the holiday month for traders. All right, so we usually are not going to be forcing these trades. Guys, if you're having a hard time keeping up, if you're frustrated with price action, don't beat yourself up. All right, I give you free reign to blame the market this time, because it is the month of August, slow volume, right? If you're having a hard time keeping up and making those better decisions, right, guys, give yourself a break. Take a break for the next couple of weeks. Come back and join us after Labor Day. All right, get the barbecue started up. Have some fun this summer. And of course, we're all waiting until Labor Day, right? We're waiting here. Once Labor Day comes and goes, that's when everybody gets back to reality. They get back to their trading desks, and we get back to work again. All right, guys, so that's basically what's happening here this month of August. Now, here on crude, we got 2 trades on crude today. We made the most money on crude today. And what you'll notice here is we have this wedge pattern, right? There's your wedge high. There's your wedge low. And so, of course, inside of a wedge pattern like this, we're going to start getting really tight, right? We started getting crude here really tight. And so we've got buyers pushing up, sellers pushing down, and eventually here, right, something is going to explode. And what happened today is knowing where that wedge pattern was, right? Knowing where that wedge pattern was, we wanted to short below 52s. Remember that, right? 76.52. We want to get below 52 or get above 76s, right? That's going to be our job here this morning, right? Below 52s or above 76s. But crude this morning really had a hard time, though, because it was in that wedge pattern. The wedge pattern just simply would not let it go. And so it keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter until finally it's going to explode out of that wedge pattern, and then something will happen. But it spent most of the morning sitting right there. Now on crude here, our first trade of the day was on crude at 9 o'clock. Now here's what happened. Remember back at this chart here, we wanted to get short below 75.52. Well, we saw that happen, Okay. In fact, what happened is we actually broke below that level and then came right back up. And now here we are, right at these lows, 75, 74. Right? So where are we here? We're going to break the downside here on crude. Right? We're going to break the downside and we're going to come right back up. And as you guys know, once I come right back up into that wedge, what am I doing? I'm going to buy the bottom of that wedge. So now here I am now in my scalp time frame of 4 range. We're at the low of day here now. And of course, at the low of day now in the 4 range, you know what I'm looking for, right? 2-step pattern long, right? Trying to buy the lows, or in this case, we have the resistance here, right? Get a trend line here. So here you come down, right? There's your low of day. And of course, I'm going to be looking here for a 2-step pattern long, right? There's one right there. Now we had 8:30 news this morning, right? 8:30 news this morning. So of course, 8:30 news was right here. There's 8:30 news. We had to skip the 8:30 news. We pass the 8:30 news, we come up, we bounce off resistance, and you guys know what happens, right? Selling the highs now, right, of this range. We're going to break down below, break those lows, and there's your 2-step pattern short using my trend line as resistance. So we were looking for a 2-step long, couldn't get into it though because we had the news to worry about at 8:30. And then of course we had the resistance here overhead. That trend line gave us a perfect entry using this double top here, right? Yellow line. We come down, mark my swing low, break below that swing low, and there's your reversal trade going back to the downside. 74 was the fill. We took 2 off at +9. Now remember, this is a 13 range trade. And a 13 range, guys, I'm going to use different stops and targets. So for this one, we had our target down here right at the lows here. So we got our first target filled to +9. 2 off at 9 is 2. Right? +2 is going to be 20. Right? 18 + 2 is 20. 200 USD. All right, guys. So kind of a messy chart there, as you can see. But what I want you guys to remember is we were initially looking for a 2-step long, right? Because here's my low of day. We're going to bounce off this low of day. I'm looking for a 2-step pattern long right here, all right? Just simply couldn't get it done though, right? Could not get it done. Very tough price action until we get up. We test that trend line, and because you can see here, we have that overhead resistance right here. Combine that with our trend line, it's a great spot for a 2-step short, and there it is right there. All right, guys? First trade of the morning here on the crude. Now, we've been waiting all day, of course, now to get down below 50s. Once we broke below 50s, we kept going, and we were looking for a short here below 32s. So here's my 50s here on crude. And now this is a 13 range trade, right? 13 range, so of course, there was that 2-step right there, right? There was that 2-step, and then we came down, we broke below the next swing low, and here's your continuation. All right, and you can see here, it took a long time, right? 9 o'clock was the first trade, and look at this, 11:30, right? 2.5 hours later, we finally break below 32s. We've been waiting for it all morning. 35 was the fill there. What happened was we got bounced. The actual price action, let me zoom in on this for you guys. The actual price action right here, as you can see, real whippy. And once we broke below 32s, all right, we then were looking for an opportunity to enter. We saw the big sellers come in. Momentum shifted down. I got filled at 35s as it was chopping around up there. Took 2 off at 10. That's 20. Right? 2 off at 2 is going to be, what's that, +1? That should be +2. So, of course, 20 + 4, right? 2 off at 20. 2 off at 2. 22, right? Sorry, 20 + 4, 24. 240 USD. All right, guys? So, kind of a sloppy day on crude, as you can see here, but we knew what we're looking for. Okay, we took the 2-step pattern short off that trend line, and then 2 hours later, it came down and broke the lows again, getting us below those 32s we're looking for. Started chopping around, big sellers show up, and we take the short at 35s. All right, guys, looking good. So that's our crude today. Now, of course, as you can see here, both of these on crude were on 13 range charts. We didn't take any scalps today on crude. Tried to, but didn't see anything show up. Right? Summertime Friday. Now, of course, here's the Russell. And on the Russell, guys, we're still seeing the after effects here of that big drop down, and then that, right, this head and shoulders pattern here that we saw at the lows. And so, of course, what we did was we took out our line here, and we drew a line here at 621.3, right, for a long trade. And then, of course, below down here, right, at 605. Now, we pretty much stayed inside of this range, though, all day today. All right, and we pretty much traded right inside this range today.